Soli Sorabjee, senior advocate, joins us live from New Delhi. Mr. Sorabjee, thank you so much for joining us right here on Business Tonight. First up, help us understand, for the benefit of our viewers, what does a presidential reference really mean? Considering it's very rare, do you think the government is right in resorting to this right now?
Well, all depends upon the terms of the reference. Under the Constitution, you can refer a matter to the Supreme Court when a question of law or fact has arisen or is likely to arise and is such public importance that the Supreme Court is asked to give its opinion on the reference. Now, in this case, these questions of law have already arisen. There's a judgment, right or wrong, about the 2G scam and about the various issues on which the reference is sought. Reference cannot be compared to a brief sent to counsel or opinion. Can this be done in this route or the natural resources? Well, presence of reference is not a counsel giving opinion, a brief for opinion. And besides, I don't know, I haven't really read thoroughly what the terms of reference are, but what little I've seen on your screen, it seems to me it's a rather expedient to get over the judgment of the Supreme Court, the division bench judgment, because a reference is heard by 5 judges, has to be heard by 5. So I have a feeling, I may be wrong, that it's a crude device, crude expedient to get over the judgment of the division bench by recourse to presidential reference. Mind you, Supreme Court in the past declined to answer the question. It's not bound to. First of all, it may well say that these are all questions which are decided. Don't ask us really, in effect, to sit and appeal over those. But more I can say when I actually see the reference in detail. But that's my first reaction.
All right, fair enough. You know, having said that, Mr. Sorabjee, is it then a fair assessment that this is nothing but perhaps a veiled attempt to get a 5-judge bench to review the Supreme Court's decision?
Well, that's my prima facie view also. And besides, I don't understand this. Supreme Court has already given the 13th of April or some date where it will hear the review petition of the government in this very matter. So why this reference? I've got a feeling, uncomfortable feeling, and I hope I'm wrong, because this is an attempt to get a 5-judge bench to really reflect, overrule, or to curtail the ratio of the 2-bench judge judgments on this. And that's not the purpose of a presidential reference. You can't ask questions as you're asking counsel. Can this be done? Can that be done? Is it a brief or opinion given to counsel? Give that, ask questions from your Attorney General and Solicitor General, not the Supreme Court.
Okay, then, just talk to us about what happens next in the case. Have there been instances when presidential reference has perhaps been overturned?
Now, one minute. There are 2 questions. The first question is, in the past, the Supreme Court has refused to answer some part of presidential reference in the Babri Masjid case. So there is a precedent. What happens next is a larger question, and then, of course, we'll have to have another discussion on that aspect.
Mr. Sorabjee, I know this is a bit of a cynical view, but do you believe the government is only buying time here, considering it is, of course, under immense pressure from global telecom companies that are threatening arbitration and even from domestic operators back home?
I won't call it time-buying tactics. Government is in a difficult position. If it can't persuade the Supreme Court to review its judgment on certain policy aspects, it's difficult. Next step would be legislation. Now, what legislation? It should be legislation which also can send the scrutiny of the court.